We've got a new sports biopic, and it's all about the most successful female boxer of all time, Claressa T-Rex Shields. Let's talk about the fire inside. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my movie review for The Fire Inside. This takes a look at the life of professional boxer Claressa T-Rex Shields, who before she turned professional appeared in the 2012 Olympic Games, and this sort of charts her lead up to that event. But that is only half the story, and we'll get into all of that here in just a second. First, though, if you are one of my Dan Reviews It subscribers already, thank you so much for returning to the channel. If you are not, though, please consider subscribing and click that notification bell too, so you get the alerts for all my video drops. I do try to post just about every day, whether it's movie or TV related stuff, so always a lot to check out on the channel here. But you can like this video or comment below as well, and that stuff helps the channel out tremendously. All right, so this is the directorial debut from Rachel Morrison, who, yes, makes her debut as a director here, but she has already made history because she was the first woman to be nominated for a Best Cinematography Oscar for the movie Mudbound from a few years ago. I think that was a Netflix film. But she's also worked on Black Panther and Fruitvale Station, so she certainly knows her way around a movie set, and I think that plays into her favor here with this film. But this was written by Barry Jenkins, who is no stranger to the Oscars scene either, because he had Moonlight, which won Best Picture of the Year back in 2016. That was the big La La Land Moonlight debacle. But he's also got If Beale Street Could Talk under his wing, which won the Oscar for Best Actress for Regina King. So look, you know, between the two of these, the writer and director here, obviously a lot of history in the last 10 or 15 years with films, and specifically films about people of color, overcoming obstacles, etc. So I think that plays well here, because we're walking the streets, or running, I should say, the streets of Flint, Michigan, early in the picture, when Claressa is just a young girl, and she wants to be a part of this, boxing training at a local gym led by Brian Tyree Henry, who plays Jason Crutchfield. I guess he owns the gym, but he is, taking or teaching these lessons, but only to boys. And she's like, no, I want to be a part of this too. And so he reluctantly agrees after seeing her fight a little bit, and ends up being her trainer, leading up to her superstardom, which comes obviously a bit later in the picture. But the boxer in question herself, Claressa, is played by Ryan Destiny, who has had actually quite a career herself since a young girl. At the age of 12, she appeared on America's Got Talent with a sibling group of singers, but then she also was part of the TV series Star on Fox for a few years. She actually was going to be on Empire, but due to contractual things, she couldn't appear at the time due to a music contract she already had with whoever. But the producer of Empire went on to produce Star, and so he brought her along for that. But I know her from Grownish. From season 3 onward, she was a recurring character on the TV show Grownish, so you might know her from there. But look, this is a star-making turn for her. This has been out a couple of weeks at the box office, and it has not done, gangbuster numbers, but I think, everybody that sees this movie, whether they like or don't like the movie, I think it's hard to deny her star power and star quality with this movie. So, the sports stuff here, it's interesting because, sports biopic movie, it's obviously been done and done and done, and most of them follow, sort of similar patterns, similar beats, and this is no exception. We start out on the hard roads of Flint, growing up very poor, growing up with a dysfunctional family, some absent people in the family, perhaps, trying to get things together for her siblings while her mom goes out and parties and cavorts with men and drinks and all of that. And so, her escape is, being great at boxing, and is being taught along the way how to do that and what works and what doesn't work. And her coach, really, really training her well. And then we move into the Olympic stage and all of that, following the, general ups and downs of the sports biopic. But here's where this movie sort of takes a really interesting turn. Like I mentioned earlier, that Olympic stuff is only half the story. The movie is only about a halfway over when we reach that sort of, natural crescendo. But then we pivot, and the last half of the movie is all about life after the Olympics and how, winning there and being such a success there didn't really end up amounting to almost anything in terms of, money for her and her family and opportunities. And why is that? Is it because she's a woman in a mainly male sport? Is it because she's a black woman? There's a lot of factors at play here, and this movie ends up exploring all of them, which I think was an interesting turn, because the whole movie could have been, let's build up to the Olympics, have that portion there, and yay for her, and end, and then have sort of an epilogue saying, okay, well then this happened and this happened. But this movie actually takes us on that journey, and I thought that was a really, really smart way to go, because it does showcase both the female aspect of it and the black aspect of it, of being an underserved demographic in two parts, and I think this movie explores that well. And then in the epilogue, we find out exactly sort of what her career was like after that sort of stuff that we see on the screen, and how she helped with equal pay for male and female athletes, and all of these things. Look, I never even heard of this person. I don't really follow the Olympics, to be honest. And so unless you're like Michael Phelps, Simone Biles, like, unless you are a huge Olympic star, I don't really know. So I was unfamiliar with this woman and her story, and all of the things. So for me, this was all brand new. But what I like about it is, even if you know exactly, how well she did or didn't do in the Olympics, it takes us an hour past that and gives us a whole other sort of story to go along with. And I think that movie, or that move, was definitely a success for the film. So I leave The Fire Inside with a B+, and I really think, hopefully this will open some doors for Ryan Destiny as an actress, because she's really, really good here as well. All right, thank you for watching Dan Reviews It, and I'll see you next time. Bye.